You see
Hmm.
these success stories, or the guy that 1% of someone that, like, makes it to the top or wins, or, and I focused on that. I didn't focus on the 99 percent of things that could go wrong. And then I got into finance, and it was hard the whole way. My
Yeah.
first internship, the only one in there without a degree. They took, out of 200 applicants, they took 20 people. So I don't know if you watched the movie The Pursuit of Happiness.
Love that show. Love that
Mate, it
show.
was it was almost like that. I was the guy that got took. No, honestly, I got took out of all across Australia. This big bank took in 200 interviews. There was like 3 or 4 stages. Then we went to 20 across Australia, and then every 2 weeks there was a test. If you didn't get 80%, you got dropped. And it was 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6, 8, 10. So it was 5 stages. At
Yeah.
the end of that, you got 9 months in a live practice, and you had KPIs, and you had to bring in clients. Then it was intense. And I remember,
Wow.
yeah, man, it was full on.
Wow.
And yeah, so I was this uneducated kid. So I remember when they said, let's pull out Excel and PowerPoint, and I didn't even know what they were, because I come from a mining background, high
Yeah.
school
Yeah.
level of 14. I looked around thinking, what are they talking about? And I remember when we first did our first calculation, I used Excel like a calculator. I was typing it in, not using the formulas. So I noticed early on, my weaknesses were
Mhm.
the academics. My weaknesses were the tools and knowing how to use things, right? So I was so far behind. I actually won that internship at the end of the year. I surpassed everyone by a huge margin based on the percentage. They're only
Mhm.
obviously small numbers, because we're all interns. But I got poached from that job by the practice I went into, became a partner. But the only thing I had was people skill. The way
Mhm.
I grew up around a lot of street kids. Had to be a little bit more different, and had to have character and how to talk. And I think they were the skills that helped me. I started at 7 and I finished at 7. So they were my 2 strengths. I could talk better than people that come from the academic background, and I
Yeah.
could work harder. And I put those two together, and I struggled at the paperwork. I struggled at the spreadsheets, and I wasn't as quick, but I still won. And Matt, I remember people in the intern started to, spread rumors, say things, say that, you obviously like, and people started to try and kick me when I was at the top, and I was like the underdog. And it was just a funny experience. And then I, went into this partnership. I got poached by someone. He come in, this guy, and he pretty much pulled me aside in the intern and said, if you can come from a mining background,
Yeah.
with no education, he goes, if I can get hold of you for a couple of years, I'll show you how to do this properly. And offered me a job, and went into a partnership with him 2 years later, as we built that business. But and that's how I ended up in finance. And I just got really good at it. Very competitive space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, at a young age, I think I got a really, really good mentor. This guy that took me in taught me a lot really quickly. It was long hours, but I think it's all paid off. Just
Oh,
build a bit of resistance.
man, I'm talking to the Australian version of the pursuit of happiness. I mean, that is fantastic. I don't know